All right, I'm on my little small road. There's no cars around. I would not be driving and videoing on a main road. I'm going to Coronado to get some of the pre-op lab work done. I have to get blood work, a urinalysis, and a chest x-ray. And then that doctor who does the geriatric appointment is only there on the 22nd, apparently. And supposedly I have an appointment. I'm gonna try and confirm if I have an appointment. The person at the assistance line was also trying to get confirmation. So off I go for an adventure. I think that was the fastest appointment I've ever had in my life for anything medical. She was very kind to tell me that I should go to a different lab for the blood and urinalysis, that it would be much more expensive here. So I just got the chest x-ray here, and with my jubilado discount, it was $34. Now I'm off to the lab. All right, another easy thing to get the blood work. Urinalysis. There are a couple of different panels for the blood work, and with my jubilado discount, it was $85 for the tests to be run. All right, I'm done, which is great. I just have a couple of errands to run down here in Coronado, and then I'm gonna get back up the mountain to go home. My cousin had to cut his Boquete trip short by one day today because I needed my car. He's gonna take my car to go to Chiriquí, and so I'm gonna stock up on some groceries, and then if I need like more fruit for myself or the birds, I can just have a friend give me a ride. Still have the sharp pain, but I was able to drive myself down the mountain, so I'm much better. I'm hungry right now because I was fasting for the tests. I'm trying to think like where I could go to grab something. I'm thinking I might just get like a fruit shake somewhere. I think it's batido. So I'm off to do some errands. After the 4 cousins left and it was just down to my one cousin, I was actually feeling energetic enough to go out around town. So we went to the mercado, and he really enjoyed looking in the shops at all the artisan goods, and ended up getting a beautiful hat. Those hats take 15 days to make, which is pretty amazing when you think about the time that is involved in creating that one hat. We were walking around the mercado on a Sunday, and I'd forgotten that the restaurant Maison Pintao has entertainment on Sundays. So we got a table there, and this was like my only real food after a couple of weeks. Like, it was food that somebody else prepared that wasn't like bland soup. It was so tasty. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And of course, the dancing is beautiful. I absolutely love the traditional polleras and the dances and the tembleques and the hair. And I love the pom-poms on the dresses. Absolutely adore everything about the Panamanian dresses. My cousin is a musician and had brought his small accordion with him, and there really wasn't any place to play in town, but when he was in Cherokee Province, he got to play in a jam session in Boquete and really enjoyed that. I was sorry I couldn't hook him up with a gig or something, to play locally in El Valle, but I'm glad he got to play. And it was pretty cool to have him have the accordion because that's such a popular instrument here in Panama. Welcome to today's medical exam before surgery. I'm in Coronado again at the San Fernando Clinic. This time I was here for the ego bruising geriatric exam, and I had an electrocardiogram. Both of those with my jubilado discount came to $101, and the next appointment is with the surgeon on Tuesday in Panama. And then after the surgery, I have to get a CT scan because they saw like a little something on the chest x-ray on my left lung. Probably nothing, but best to get it looked at. So that will be with a contrast dye CT scan. All right, that's it for today. So it's almost 6 a.m. I'm never up this early. And I'm going to pick up my friend Katrina and her husband Ken, and we're going to go to the hospital in Panama, where she has generously agreed to donate blood. As I mentioned, you have to bring your own blood donor in a public hospital. I think in the private hospitals, they have some kind of blood bank. And I will have a surgery date, I'm thinking positively, after I meet with the surgeon. Got everything done, chest x-ray, EKG, urinalysis, blood work, geriatric exam, all set, ready to go. Let's get this gallbladder out. So this venture to the hospital for the pre-op appointment took about, I'd say, 4.5 hours, and it was very confusing. I do have instructions on when to check in for my surgery, and I'm hoping that it goes more smoothly than this did. Well, I'm at the Do It Center with my friends, Katrina and Ken, who donated blood for me. And my Freon isn't working again in the car, so it's very hot. Got to the hospital early, like they said, and tried to go to what I thought was like the main desk entrance, and tried to communicate that I was there for a pre-op surgery appointment and showed my pre-surgery doctor assessment and my lab reports, and that woman then sent me to a different office, and then that office sent me to a different office, and then that office got on the phone with the assistance line translator who was trying to communicate that I'm there for my pre-surgery appointment, just like it says on the paperwork. And then I was brought to the ward where I actually spent a couple of nights, and they said, oh, you need to come back on Friday. And I was like, well, I have an appointment for today. And I was told that all of these tests had to be done within 8 days of my doctor appointment, or they wouldn't be valid. My friends are here now to do the blood donation. They're not going to be available on Friday. So she said, okay, well, you'll just have to wait to see the doctor because he's doing rounds. So we sat and waited, and then somebody came and took Ken and Kat to go get their blood tested initially. I thought it was going to take them a long time, and so I was like, take the car, go do your errands. And sure enough, like 10 minutes after they left, a woman came back looking for them because they needed them for more tests or to finally draw the blood. So Katrina and Ken came back, and at that point I was then being taken to a waiting area where I would see the doctor. So everything was like very hopeful, you know, still wasn't 100% sure that it would all happen, but it happened. I met with the surgeon. Unfortunately, the only date, the next date that was available is May 19th, and today is March 25th. So I've got this sharp pain when I breathe or move, you know, in a certain way. So that'll be a challenge to deal with for 7 weeks or so. And he said the stone is probably in the duct, and that's why it's causing the sharp pain. So the other hopeful thing is that it won't cause a blockage. If I have a fever, vomiting, nausea, jaundice, he said then just go to the ER immediately. So hopefully I can just stay status quo until surgery. I have to check in a day before, and I'm able to drive myself home the day after. So for the next 7 weeks, I gotta just lay low. And I have very low energy. So I'm probably not gonna be doing much at all. You guys, I think that summer is over. It's gray, it's been raining for 2 days, it's cloudy, and I'm so bummed because we didn't really get a summer at all. I can hear the toucans, but I can't see them. And they have not been coming to the feeder for a while. Now it's starting to drizzle, so I'm hiding under the banana leaves for a minute. So I'm trying to figure out how much the surgery is going to cost. On the day that I was there with Ken and Katrina, I was too tired and hungry to go to another window and try and figure that out. And the surgeon's nurse was going to try and find out. The assistance line, even though that's not part of their job, they were going to try and find out. I asked in a Facebook group. I think people were really surprised to learn that you can't pay with a credit card at the public hospital. There's a public hospital in the city, and they list the surgery as being like $420. So I think I can kind of go based on that. And, you know, you have to pay with cash. And the surgeon said that the nurse's station would keep an eye on my bag while I'm in surgery. You know, he said like it's so safe. I leave my phone and my wallet out, and I'm thinking, yeah, you're a surgeon. You know all these people. I don't know anybody here. I don't know the people who are coming in. There's people in handcuffs coming in, you know, even though they're under police supervision. You know, how do I know what they could be capable of? So, and I don't want to overbring cash, but anyway, that's what I'm going to have to do. I am feeling much better. This is now, what, like April 12th, I think. And the sharp pain is gone. It's just like a dull, you know, kind of reminder pain. It's not even a pain. I wouldn't even call it a pain. My energy is definitely better. Not 100%, but it's better, so that's good. And I think I can manage to wait until the surgery, and I'll be very happy to get it done. And then I'm seriously gonna look into health insurance, even though right now finances are not the best. As you guys know, it's been very challenging looking for work. But I think at my age and now having this kind of medical scare, it would be smart to get insurance while I'm still healthy. Like I don't have any major illnesses. And hopefully that little blip on my lung is not anything to worry about. So yeah, I think I'm gonna start looking into getting health insurance. And that would mean going into the city for care, but I could become okay with that. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next week, and let me know your thoughts on the video.